Greetings!
Capibara, 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 capibara.
Greetings!
All right. Welcome into Grand Finals for Tier 2. We have two amazing teams, two very worthy teams here tonight. We got Fable Estrella and Odyssey Hypnos. I'm very excited to see what's going to go on tonight. We have a little bit of difference in the polls. We got by 2 winning for Estrella, and for Hypnos, we got 10 in favor. So I'm very excited to see what we do here tonight. Sarek, if you want to take it away.
For sure. And our first map today is going to be on Lijiang Tower. So the bans right now are Juno and Reaper. So I'm expecting to see a little bit of a speed comp, maybe some Mauga Lucio being played. As a Lucio player, I would very much love to see some environmental kills. However, I don't know if that's going to happen. Of course, the best support to go with Lucio is Kiriko. So I'm expecting to see some Lucio carry backlines as the Juno ban coming in, so there's no like speed or anything. For DPS, I'm going to assume, based on what I've seen, that we're going to have some Sojourn and maybe On-Run even in these comps, have some burn comps going on, which I think, personally, would be very exciting. I'm getting spam picked, hold on.
For sure. And we're going to Lijiang Tower. Lijiang Tower is probably one of our highest, most used control maps. We had the other options of Antarctic Peninsula and Samoa. See, I didn't even know the other one because it's never been used. Lijiang Tower is definitely a fan and team favorite. I love Lijiang Tower as well. There's just so many lanes and angles. It's just a classic map, and it's a fun map for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And the open, like, there are maps on it that are open, there are maps on it that are closed, which means that some heroes like Pharah, for example, in Garden, are super powerful, and then they're not powerful on others, such as Control Center. So you're gonna be like seeing switching comps based on not just like it being Lijiang Tower, but also on the map inside Lijiang Tower, which will be very interesting.
I feel like there's so much flexibility on Lijiang Tower, where other maps it's like you kind of have to do the same thing for all 3 points. Lijiang Tower, there's a poke map, there's a dive map, and I feel like there's a brawl map. So
yeah. When I was scrimming with my teams, I would often tell them that we need to play differently. We need to treat each map like it's its own map and not like it's Lijiang Tower. So you want to be brawly in the Control Center. You want to be more pokey in, I think it was Night Market, and then you want to dive on Garden. I think that's what it was. I don't actually. That's wrong, but that's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
I can't correct you because I don't know.
Fair enough. I have a spreadsheet somewhere, but I don't feel like going and finding it at the moment.
That's okay. But all right, we're gonna take a little break probably here. Actually, we do have bans in. On the side of Estrella, we have a Juno ban, like you mentioned earlier, and then on the side of Hypnos, we do have a Reaper ban. So I'm unsure exactly on what we're planning on doing with these bans and what our tactic is, but I'm kind of excited for what we're going to see here. But we are going to take a little break and get to the start of this map here very, very soon. But all right, we'll see you then.
I do think both teams are ready. So are we ready?
I believe so.
Good. Owen pinged me 4 times, by the way.
Can I go say I love you guys, good luck, and then come back?
You can, and also do me the favor of letting them know that Chow is a chud, and I don't think there's a delay on the stream. So be respectful.
Okay.
Don't be assholes.
Sounds good.
Apparently, there's a 2-minute delay, but I don't know.
There's supposed to be, but I don't think I put it on by accident, and I don't think I can change it now that I'm live.
No, you can't change it while you're live. Unfortunately, it sucks. Stream still isn't mute. That's good to know. Hey, Chow, you didn't mute the stream.
That's okay. My mic was muted. You guys weren't able to be heard. It's been unmuted for a minute.
Yeah, chat forgot to mute the stream, so they can just hear us talking. By the way.
Okay.
Don't say anything bad.
They heard me say. Okay? They heard me say, "Can I go tell my team I love them?"
Yeah.
I didn't know you wanted me to mute for that. I didn't mute when you said we'll be right back.
So that's fine. That's fine.
It's all right.
When you asked, I was actively about to click the start button, so I didn't mute.
You're good. You're good. Sarek, if you want to go over the comps that they picked.
Once they pick them. We're still unmuted. So they can hear you. They asked me to do this, but
awesome.
That's all right.
Awesome. All right, we are going into map 1 of Lijiang Tower, or point 1 of Lijiang Tower. I'm excited to see what comps we're going to roll out with. We don't quite know yet, but we're going to see here very shortly.
Yeah, from what I know previously, because I am a part of Fable.
Ready.
Yes, I do see the Sojourn coming out. So what I'm assuming will happen, how I like to play this, is I want a Sojourn Lucio going into the covered area, I forget what it's called, and then the rest fighting around coast. And what that allows you to do is just get the long angle and secure it. So, and just constantly do damage. We'll see if that ends up happening. I'm not quite sure, but yeah.
It looks like you were right about the backlines. Both teams coming out with Akiri Lucio.
Yeah, when you're forced to only have Lucio for speeds, you kind of got to play him. If one team's playing him, you have to have the match.
Right. And it looks like we have a ball here, kind of set up very early on an angle. So they got there very quickly, almost with the boop off on proper, but did not get that. It looks like they're gonna try and wrap to point here on the left side while Estrella takes main. Ball going in for a slide, trying to get some disruption going on, disrupting their backline, but does get picked off very quickly by Proper with a huge shot there. And Fiery also taking out Karma with that boop. And quick cap for Odyssey Hypnos.
And it just looks like a little bit of a disconnect on the engage with the ball on the on-run. They went in separately, so that there was all the pressure on one of them instead of both of them.
Running a ball comp is very difficult. If you're not on the same timing, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, and you can see the insta swap to Diva here as well.
Correct. It's gonna be a little bit more sustainable than a ball, especially if our timing isn't exactly 100% on. Looks like we're gonna wrap back and Proper taking out Rondo. Early pick for Odyssey Hypnos. And it looks like Fable's gonna fall back at that regroup here. They are down 2. Lucio gonna go back for that pickup. We got Warcry trying to get some poke damage in. Might get burned for that though. Does not get burned. Stabilizes.
Good to see you.
Oh, Warcry falling dangerously low. Huge kind of distraction there by Nano. But Proper taking out Karma. Rondo getting that quick trade on Fiery. And it looks like we're still stabilizing point for Odyssey Hypnos. Nano falling dangerously low, getting separated from their team. Getting demeched and Baby Diva getting killed very quickly. But, however, Turtle with a big group on Geek there, taking him off that map. And Icarus is going to take out Warcry. Rondo's going to take out Proper here. And Rook falling down very shortly. Huge map flip for Estrella Fable here. And they're going to cap here with 75% on Odyssey Hypnos.
Rondo being able to get that trade for his support for DPS, it just made the fight so much more winnable for them. As you know, they were getting picked off early, but still getting the trade was huge.
Early pick onto Warcry, but kind of sacrificing that positioning on Diva. Diva might get burned here. Does not get burned. Able to come back out. Karma's going in. Does get the pick on Proper. And is going to hold here. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a regroup there for Odyssey Hypnos. Looking for some poke damage here with that Pharah. Looks like we're gonna try to wrap under.
I think whoever goes first here will should win this fight.
Correct. Now comes the ult for Fable coming out, getting Warcry low. Taking out Warcry, however, out comes Overclock, but Geek does fall. Getting no picks with Overclock quite yet. Rook also getting kind of low here. Karma might be overstaying their welcome. Does not, gets out. And we're back to a regroup for Odyssey Hypnos. The instant counter pick with the Diva onto for Mauga. Also the counter pick onto the Pharah. Definitely paying off. Out comes both Kitsune rushes, but however also comes out Emre's ult here for Rondo. Rondo taking out Proper. Looks like we're just trying to stabilize and brawl it out on point. Out comes Heat and also Cage and also Barrage. Barrage taking out Rondo. Karma falling dangerously low. Out comes Diva Bomb. Huge Suzu there, saving Rook. And a huge boot by Warcry falling. Oh, I guess Fiery got the credit on that one, taking out Warcry and Nano.
Right on target.
And here you go with a flip from Estrella or Odyssey, and Estrella's gonna have to make that fight come back here.
And yeah, they don't have any ults to make this last push. It's gonna be really tough to actually take the point without any real firepower behind what they're doing. So we'll see if they can do it.
But neither does Odyssey, so we'll see. It's just whoever brawls it out better.
Yeah, if they can last long enough for Karma to get his ult, then they should be good. However, they had
Diva going for the touch, and Diva's trying to dive in here. Does get demeched very quickly, and Rook taking out Nano. Rondo also taking out Warcry. So it's even on the field right now, but they are down a tank for Estrella. And down goes Fiery, and down goes Karma as well. It's still even. Icarus falling down very shortly after. Turtle trying to contest point, but does not. And first point goes to Odyssey Hypnos.
Yeah. You see, like I mentioned there earlier, whoever went first with ults ended up winning the fight. The fight that Fable won, the ult fight, was when Karma went first because they could kill and then kite the Soj ult. And when
Correct. Made that kind of useless, huh?
In the other fight, they went first with beat, and that's they got a better beat, unfortunately, which allowed them to win the fight.
Unfortunately, wow. Okay.
Yeah. There's bias on both sides. There's bias on both sides, but
No!
point towards mine.
Alright, we are on second point here, and it looks like we are going back on the ball comp for Estrella. But on the side of Hypnos, we are making no changes so far.
Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna have maybe Ball try to get some people off bridge, but does not. But still a good rollout nonetheless, getting the Kiri off the map, but she's able to TP back in there. Looks like Karma gets taken out very quickly. We take over the dojo there, and Karma kind of got separated from their team, but they're still having control of point here for Estrella, and Ball's still able to get an angle on them.
Yeah, I think, again, Karma's just going a little too early for his ball comp, and that's what, like, he's absorbing too much of the pressure that his ball's supposed to take.
Correct. That timing, like we mentioned earlier in the last point, if it's not exact with your team, or you're not calling out the ready checks, or however you guys have to do it, it's very rough to get it to work. We have Ball doing a roll through here, trying to make some kind of distraction.
Ooh.
However, Turtle falls off the map. And that's going to be a good pick for Odyssey here, and they're going to able to capitalize on it onto Karma and Rondo. Proper getting taken out though, so they might be able to get their footing here a little bit quicker with that pick onto Odyssey. Warcry, however, does take out that ball. A pretty good stagger for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Lucio falling off the map, but like, losing a support instantly it's never a good thing.
Yeah, you have your foot constantly just on the back end there. Oh, and a big roll through for the Ball there. Trying to disrupt that hold they have. Just trying to get their team to get some footing in. Out comes Ball ult, very early Ball ult there. And Karma does take out Proper. Rondo taking out Warcry here. Rook falling pretty low, and Estrella's gonna get that flip. And Odyssey is gonna have to regroup at 64%.
Yeah, I think there again the timing was just on that time, and Karma
Correct.
went in with the ball, and that allowed him to actually be able to secure the kills instead of trying to fight the 1v5.
Correct. Looks like we have just a little bit of a 3-2 split on the field, having Ball taking control over Bridge, but it looks like Odyssey is going to try to take over White Room there. And Proper taking it out very quick early onto Rondo, and Overclock coming out. Falling dangerously low though. I don't know if he's going to get much value with it. Out comes, I can't remember her name, I'm so sorry. Karma's ult, Onron's ult, thank you. And out comes Rush. We are even on the field. Turtle taking out Rook though. Geek falling dangerously low. I don't think we're going to be able to get another pick here for Hypnos. And down goes Geek and Proper. We're going to have another regroup. Great fight there by Estrella. And they're going to have to regroup at 57% there. So they are climbing up on that percentage. Odyssey Hypnos is going to have to do something very quickly to figure out how to get through this.
Yeah, I do see, however, they have Cage, Blade, and Beat, which do beat out the other ults. So if they can use those properly together, they should be able to pull this one. Pull this next
Correct.
fight.
We do have Beat and Rush on the side of Estrella, but with Beat, Rush, and also Genji ult, it's gonna be out comes Beat for Estrella, but out comes Blade as well on the side of Odyssey. Proper getting that pick on Icarus. Rondo falling dangerously low. Proper getting kind of forced out of the fight, but out comes Ball ult. Turtle taking out Rook. Karma taking out Proper. Warcry still taking out Rondo. We're still fighting for this. Fiery is on point with Beat, trying to live, contest. It is even on the point with our Kiri back in and our Genji. Out comes the Suzu, saving both Icarus and Ball there. Icarus does fall down to Warcry. Out comes Overclock for Rondo. Last fight, but Geek takes out Rondo there during that Overclock. looks like Ball is just trying to contest the point as long as they can. That's the huge value of Ball on this map. It's just, oh man, like you could just live forever.
Yeah.
And you could almost get a full regroup.
Constant contesting.
Correct, just stagger wars here. Looks like we're gonna recap for Odyssey Hypnos at 65%. We got 99 on the board. No ults super close besides On-Run and Ball and Beat.
Now, if they're gonna hold this point, I think they're gonna have to go earlier with OC. I don't know if they know this, but Fable doesn't have any ults to counter it. So, Karma killed himself.
War Karma falls off the map there. They're gonna have to wait for another regroup. We're climbing, now we're in last fight territory.
Good to see
Yep.
you. Not so fast.
Again, if Proper goes first with ult, they have nothing to respond with it.
Thanks for the help.
What are we gonna do? Ball is going to try to contest this point.
This ends now.
We have overclock out. There it comes. Out comes the beat though for the side of Estrella. Out comes the later beat for Odyssey Hypnos. Nano falls down early in that fight though. Proper falling dangerously low. Geek doing whatever they can to keep him up. Out comes the On-Run ult. Takes that pick on Geek. Icarus taking out Rook. Oh, Warcry getting taken out. Mid-Genji ults.
C9.
And it looks like we see 9 here on the point, and Hypnos takes first point or first map of Lijiang Tower. Great fight from both sides, man. Oh, that's C9, dang.
C9, they just got off point. They couldn't touch. Both of the live teammates for Fable just were too low to be able to do anything.
For sure, for sure. Great fight though. I love close maps. Close maps are the best. I don't like it when it's a wash. When it's back and forth like that, you know both teams are just giving it their all. Great first map.
For sure. And again,
Guys, don't worry,
whoever.
and they say males in chat.
Oh, thank God! Shout out Sarah for top 500,000 Lucio gameplay. I'd like to think I'm a little higher than top 500,000, but you know, whatever you say, you're the boss. Yeah, but again, it seems whoever goes first with ult ends up winning the fight. I would have liked to see maybe Proper go a little earlier with his OCs, as a lot of them were being like kited pretty easily. But when he did hit the OC at the end, that is what ended up like forcing a lot of damage onto their team. It did get close with the on-run ult. However, I feel like that, along with the better beat, is what won them the point. It wasn't more of a C9. It was more of they played their ults better.
Correct. It was just the beat. Whoever also does their beat second, I feel like also has the better advantage, and they did do it slightly after. But that was a great fight, great map. I'm very excited to see where we go to next.
For sure. When you're playing Lucio, it's kind of you have to hold your beat as long as you can to like try and force the other team's beat. But if you like, your beat can get forced, and if you die, it's also bad. So it's like it's a huge timing thing, and you have to be able to know if like they have beat and all the other ults, and like you're tracking everything and seeing what they can do to counter you after you beat.
For sure. But all right, we are gonna take a little bit of a break. We're gonna get the map pick in and some bans, and we'll be right back.
For sure. Chow me at the mic. Chow me at the mic.
Capibara, 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 capibara. Capibara. Capibara, 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 capibara. Excellent. You seem to have the hang of it.
Greetings.
I don't know. All right, and welcome to map 2. We are going to Midtown here. We have Hypnos on the side of defense, so we're gonna have a Estrella on the attack first. We got a couple bans in here. Sarek, if you want to take that away.
Yeah, so we're seeing a Kiri and a Sojourn ban coming in. Now, Kiri is the main flex support that everyone plays, so I would love to see a Baptiste played, being a Baptiste lover myself. However, I don't think that's going to come through. I think it's going to be more of an Ana comp, maybe like an Ana Juno or something with speed.
Mhm.
On the side of DPS with no Sojourn, I'm assuming they're going to be playing something like Shion's coming up. There's going to be some Freyas, and then for tanks, I'm expecting a Sigma mirror. However, I don't know if either of these tanks play Sigma. So, well, we'll end up seeing in just a second what they pull up with.
With my insider knowledge, I wouldn't say insider. It's just we've faced this team 3 separate times now. It's usually either a Ramatra or a Sigma here on the side of Estrella, and then on the side of Hypnos. History! I'm going off of history.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Don't look at the screen, Patty. You don't know.
We'll look
there
it
we
at
go.
the screen. It looks like we're on a Sigma comp for both teams.
Sigma and Ana, that's expected. I don't see any Freyas, which does surprise me a little bit. Double hit scan on the side of Fable.
That looks
Which-
like the
Correct.
new Juno spray. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see a Sigma.
Yeah.
And on the side of Odyssey Hypnos, it looks like we're going to run the May and Emre here with no
Yeah.
speed on either side. It looks like the same exact backline for both teams.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
wrong.
Zenyatta.
And I'm
Zenyatta
right. We're
switch.
switching to the Zen.
Immediate
Thank you very
No.
much. I sound dumb.
Hypnos may actually be able, Hypnos may actually be able to
Alright.
get speed with major perk on Mizuki here, so
sure.
don't put
And-
speed out.
We are getting into it here. It's just a poke battle at this point.
Wait,
Whoever
there, one poke
gets
swap,
first pick.
please.
We're looking for, probably on the side of Hypnos, we're looking for a May wall, trying to get somebody caught off guard. It looks like we're going to try to take height here for the side of Estrella. They're going to go through that, what is it called, bus? And looks like we're meeting them here. Train, thank you. Out comes a good nade onto Donjon, however, they do trade that nade onto Throne. Good nades from both Anas there, making them both get a little uncomfortable with that fight, making Estrella fall back. It looks like we're going to try to go through main once again. The Hanzo is definitely a terrifying pick here because they're a one-shot character, just like the Widow, so it can definitely mess up some stuff. Looks like they're making some space, trying to take over the height, while we have Ashe wrapping around with Zen. Hanzo takes the height early. Proper's going to contest that. Does get Bay block forced out. It does get picked. Out comes Throne onto the point, taking out Sovereign, or Icarus taking out Sovereign, but Proper also taking out Icarus, getting that quick trade. May walls off that Sig, and they're gonna get their footing back here. Nope, maybe not. Karma's gonna take out Aqua. And a late pick there onto that Ashe, and also another late pick onto that Zenyatta. So we're gonna go back to another poke.
Yeah, and I think the big difference in that fight was the fact that there was 2 hit scans on one side and there was a hit scan reflex on the other side. The mage just makes it so much harder to play. You need to constantly be tracking his cooldowns. The Reaper here should be able to like give some more space with his TPs and break walls.
Make it a little more uncomfortable for them to stay on their lanes, because all he has to do is just TP and then boom, they take over that lane. However, getting Wraith forced out, falling dangerously low there. Out comes a nade, getting both Sig and Reaper. Nano comes out, getting Sigma. Another Nano coming out, getting both Sigmas. And out comes also our Flux and Zenyatta ult.
A lot of ults coming out.
Yeah, it looks like an ult dump going on right now with 1:25 remaining. However, Nano's gonna get that pick on both Aqua and Fiery, taking out both supports. Sovereign taking out that Zenyatta there, and they're gonna trade. They're both taking out the supports. They're making progress on the point. Are we gonna C9 this? And we C9'd it. They're gonna take over and start pushing that cart.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's more of a C9 as it's they had to trade up the supports and they couldn't get back in time. Because when you're down 2 supports, the only thing you can really do is walk on the other team's supports. And if that doesn't work, you're kind of just screwed because you're dead.
Correct, and with both pretty slow characters not running any form of speed, it's a little difficult. And it looks like we're gonna have an early contest on the height here. Proper is gonna wall off that Sig while we try to keep it, but they're pushing up on it. They want that height. They're gonna try and get it. Odyssey Hypnos is gonna pop that Mizuki ult just to confirm that grab onto height. They can't give that up, and they know it. So a little bit of a pricey fight there, but they do end up securing this next fight, and they're gonna hold this space here.
Yeah, for sure. Huge rock onto was it throwing pillow? Oh, they switched tanks. I didn't even notice. It's not the same tank player as before, but
Wait,
yeah.
what? Oh,
yeah, yeah, on Fable. So huge rock there, instantly killing the Sigma pretty much. Absolutely, I cannot get support back there.
Looks like we're gonna try to rotate through right height, or maybe try to just force point. Karma contesting the height there. That's such a cheeky little spot for hit scans, especially for an Ashe. And out comes the rock. Doesn't get anyone here. Look, it's another poke battle. While we have Reaper pushing cart. Are they gonna drop to contest here?
Yeah,
you're
seeing the issue with the Maycomp here is that their flex DPS can't really contest cart. They need to all fall back and swap it.
Correct. Out comes the May Blizzard getting all three.
Oh, wow.
Huge May freeze there by Proper. And Throne's gonna have to fall back there. Ashe probably getting staggered out here. They're looking for it. They want it. They do not get it. And we're gonna restabilize on height. I'm assuming Estrella is gonna keep that same plan of pressure point, making them have to fall down.
Yeah. The reason that Fable couldn't get capitalize on that is because again they didn't go first with ults. Overwatch is a tempo game. You need to go first with their ults, but you also need to hit.
Out comes the Sigma ult, and he does not get anyone. But Don's gonna grab both Ashe and it looked like Ana, but I don't think Ana got grabbed. Sovereign's gonna get that pick onto Nano, and Pillow falling dangerously low. Gonna have to fall back once again. We are under the minute mark. Gonna have to do something on for Estrella to break through this hold, and they're gonna have to put up a very good defense for Odyssey to keep it.
Now it seems like Odyssey here only has 2 ults to 4, but if they go first with Nano Emre, it's really hard to counteract that. They're gonna have to pop all their ults to try and stop it.
Correct. We have Emre ult, and we're coming up very close onto the Emre ult. Nano, maybe a Nano Emre. We're looking at. Out comes the Zenyatta ult. Yep, they're gonna fall back and they're gonna kite it out. Nano looking for an ult, I believe.
Yeah, and there you go.
Out comes the Mizuki ult, canceling that Bob. Also, great sleep from Aqua there. And Emre Proper is gonna take out both Nano and Throne. I got distracted with that Mizuki ult. Great 2 picks there from Proper. And we're gonna go to switch to attack for Hypnos, and we're gonna see what kind of defense Estrella puts up. I'm excited. I love it when it's close. It is very close. That is a very... Both of these teams are amazing teams with amazing players, and it's showing because it's neck and neck. These teams want to win. They are here for a reason.
Yeah, you can see there in that last fight. I'm always trying to preach go first with your ults, but I think that was maybe a little too early with an ult like Trank. You can't really... It's really hard for you to push with Trank when you're on that high ground, and so when they used the Trank early, they allowed Sovereign Aqua to sync up and pop the Nano Emre, which killed 3 people almost instantly, just because it's so powerful together.
The idea of the early Trank wasn't horrible, but I don't think they made the space they wanted to with it.
No, I feel if any ults, they'd have to go with a DPS first. You can't open with a defensive ult like Trank, unfortunately. Trank is more of a responsive ult that you would do in response to something like a Nano Emery.
Yeah. You can also, if you're on the Zen, you can also be a cheeky little pest and go on your own angles and use it to get out if a team all turns to you.
That is
Nobody knows. All right, we are going in.
Around my screen.
Is that a Torbjorn Baptiste? That's what I love to see. That is what I like to see. Torbjorn Baptiste, my characters are coming to life.
Oh, early pick onto Mizuki there. Turtle falls, getting picked out by Proper. However, that turret's basically another DPS, so it's going to add that damage, making that walk very difficult for them. Proper falling dangerously low. Don's just trying to poke, trying to live. That little bus stop is doing the Lord's work. Looks like we're gonna try to take over that mini room. Karma's gonna have a great angle there on them. However, great nades saving both Aqua and Sovereign. Oh, Aqua getting picked off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but great pick by Karma. But Proper's gonna get that instant trade there, taking Karma out. Huge stun by Don John. However, Mayrock is gonna get forced. Nano's going to take out Fiery, and it looks like Proper falls. We're going to have to fall back for Odyssey Hypnos. Great defense so far.
Beautiful Torbjorn gameplay. I love to see it.
For sure. That turret's it's another DPS. It really is, and it makes so many walks just so uncomfortable. So it's a great pick for defense here.
Yeah.
All right, another poke slot battle. Proper's gonna get that May freeze forced out. We're coming up on a few ults as well. Looks like we have Blizz at 95% and also Flux. We have 95% for Throne's Flux as well. 90% on the Torb ults. Torb's ult, especially on defense, is insane because that's gonna just cover point and that's what they want, and it's gonna be hard to do it. They're also gonna maybe Torb ult the walk, and the walk is just
make it so much harder to actually take space when space kills you instantly. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And that fight is just another huge early pick from Karma. Forces them back. We're going first here with a 6.
Out comes the first Flux, getting Aqua and Sovereign very low here. Not securing any picks though, but it's making them very uncomfortable on this push. Out comes Mayfreeze, getting that Sigma, getting that pick on the Sigma. Sovereign taking them out. Out comes the Torb ult, not taking up too much space there, but it's a very good one, forcing them only down one lane. And out comes that Rock, taking out Nano. And it looks like Odyssey is going to start tapping the point. They still have time for a contest on the side of Estrella if they want to go for it. Looks like we're going to try and take this space up front here. And we do cap for Odyssey Hypnos. We have 3.5 minutes to push this cart and get it to exactly where Estrella pushed it to, which is honestly pretty far with this high ground. If they can control of it, it's going to be very hard for Hypnos to make it through.
Yeah, Midtown is one of those maps where you often don't see third point just because of how powerful this high ground is. This is such a defensive side of point.
Oh, another Flux by Don John, grabbing Mizuki, getting them half, but doesn't secure the kill. Out comes Mizuki ult, very good time Mizuki ult there, saving all of them from that Emre ult. Out comes the Nano, so very expensive fight for Hypnos. Out comes the Baptiste window, and doesn't look like they are going to be able to particularly use it too much because we got Don John on that angle, but very expensive fight for both teams so far. Proper's just on cart pushing it along. Let's see who drops to contest, and Sigma's gonna drop to contest there. Throne getting walled off a little bit, might be able to live, does not live, gets chained by Fiery, and out comes Baptiste Immort trying to defend the point as much as they can. They are living as long as possible. Great. Out comes the May Freeze. Huge ult, Mizuki getting frozen, Don John taking out everyone, and map 2 goes to Odyssey Hypnos.
Wow. Yeah, just great ult usage there, honestly. The music heal was a great counter to the Nano M raise. It's honestly one of the only. It's one of the only counters. I'm gonna be honest.
It is. It's either hide or you're
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, with the flux coming in, the early damage, and then also the May freeze afterwards, they just didn't have any responses, and they were a little late to drop the cart, and they just pushed it too far at that point.
Correct. All right, we are going to go to map 3. A very good fight for both teams. They're both showing out. It's not over. It is not over. Estrella could definitely come back with the reverse sweep. Is it first to 4 or first to 3? 4. Okay, so we're only 2. Estrella still has their chance. They could reverse this.
At a minimum.
All right, you guys, we're gonna take a little break, get some bans in the next map, but we'll see you guys.
Reel in your player in Twitch chat before I beat him up.
Who is it?
Huh?
Doge saying it's over, Fable. Just forfeit.
Doge, please do not do that.
I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna throw hands.
I have no
I'm
authority.
assuming we're not on mute.
No, we're not. Not yet.
Okay.
No, we're not allowed to be on mute. The people
Doge,
want
just
people
keep
on,
it fair. Keep it cool.
If Hypnos wins, I'm just gonna steal all Patty's cakes before she could sell them.
Mm.
It's my only source of income.
They're mine now.
I just made $120. Shoo! Not on that cake though. Not on that cake. It's cupcakes and cake pops. Exciting.
When you said we were gonna get some bands in, you didn't mean bands. You meant bands.
They banned Mauga. Okay.
Mauma.
Wait, are we? I have no clue.
Oh, are we?
At Chow.
What do you want me to do?
Are we muted?
Are we on mute?
We are not muted. Would you like me to mute?
Oh,
I don't
yes,
care.
please.
Okay,
I need to leave.
Oh my god!
Okay.
I can talk about beer. I can talk about beer to chat. Oh my god!
Sarah,
I'm unmuted
be free.
and I'm drinking. Oh my god, guys! I'm drinking Guinness. I fucking love Guinness. Oh my god, this shit tastes like absolute garbage, but I'm drinking. So, my mom is gonna get mad at me if I keep drinking. However, I don't care. I bought the beer. It's my beer.
I live on my own. It's my beer.
It's mine.
Exactly. I need to drink. So everyone vote in the poll and tell me if I should get more beer. Because
Well, Where's
So,
the
that is
stream link? I'm
in,
sorry.
I was
server
told I could come.
admins.
Hmm?
Sarah,
I was told I could.
when
Yo.
a single person said no, you have
Mm.
60% of the votes are yes, and the other 40% is yes, but second.
Okay. Chat is telling me to get another beer. Therefore, I must get another
Oh
beer.
boy.
And my mom is
There's a chat message for you.
she can't get mad.
Hold on. It says, my mom will be mad at me if I keep drinking. No, brother, let your inner alcoholic free.
Bro, the inner alcoholics left the building already. It's been free for a while, I'm gonna be honest. Don't tell my manager who's in the call with me, but we're starting. Oh shit.
Oh, we're going in.
Yeah,
All right, and sorry. Welcome to map 3. We are going to Runasapi. We got a couple bans in the system. We got on the side of Estrella, we have a they banned Mauga. Sorry, I had to remember real quick. Yes, the Mauga comp is definitely stressful. And it's definitely something to force to ban that. Just gets rid of that brawl comp, and it's definitely a good pick from them. And then on the side of Hypnos, we have a. Sorry, what did we ban?
Mizuki.
Oh,
Mizuki's a huge ban here as well, especially if you're planning on running like diva, a ball, any kind of like dive comp. Mizuki's a huge counter to that. To eliminate that as well, it's gonna be a good ban for them to get them on that foot, because they don't have to worry about it. But there's also the Brig, and the Brig still exists.
Oh. I'm looking at the comps here. On the side of Fable, that seems like your very standard brawl comp. You got the Lucio Kiri, you got the Sojourn, Reaper, Robot. Very, very standard brawl comp. And then on the other side, you have also very standard dive comp. You got the Kiriko. No Lucio. You have a Cat coming in for the first time, which is currently meta, if I'm not mistaken. Good Pharah for some extra poke, and then some Xion as your flex dive hit scan kind of hybrid.
Correct, and it looks like we are in, and Brooks is gonna slam the, I can't remember, they slam Fiery, getting that early pick on Icarus there, and also Nano. Fiery taking out Turtle, Fiery taking out 3 on a roll, Throne also taking out Proper and Fiery though, so Turtle getting taken down. Yeah, so many early picks, I can't keep up. Warcry taking out Karma and Throne, and Hypnos is gonna take this first fight and get this first push progress.
Yeah, Blizzard really saw Cat being meta and said, yeah, let's buff her again. So this is what we got now.
I love Cats. I love it. I remember when she was like being pitched, everyone was like, no, she's gonna be a joke, never used in organized comp. She is a huge part of organized comp, and it is insane the value she brings to every single map. And Nano's gonna swap to that Sombra, but getting zoned out quite early, but it's gonna take that space away from Hypnos. Rook's falling back there.
Yeah, and if we see Fable, Fable's not running its real hit scan, they're running a Sojourn, so it's a lot of projectile and then one big hit scan, which is really hard when you're playing against a Pharah Cat, especially with a ball. You're not really having rail all the time. So it just allows
team fight there for Hypnos.
Just run through them pretty much.
Correct. Proper took out 2 that last fight. Turtle's gonna jump off just to get that regroup even faster. We're gonna get forward spawn for Hypnos. A huge team fight for Hypnos there. We're switching to the Diva comp on the side of Estrella. No swaps on the side of Hypnos yet.
Yeah, Estrella not having a hit scan DPS makes me a little worried for how these future fights are going to come up. The only hit scan they really have. Yeah, 2 flyers and 2 only on a hit scan. The Diva does help a lot, as she's probably best, as you can see, at dealing with Pharah. But after the Diva's gone, what's left?
Correct, and Diva gets quickly demeched there by Proper, and they're just trying to stabilize, trying to get that mech back. Out comes an early Xion ult, trying to get a pick, cancels the remech, and also Karma falling. And they're gonna have to fall back. Nano's going in, trying to get something going. Turtle getting that pick onto Geek. Proper, however, taking out Icarus and Nano. Turtle falling very shortly after. And we're gonna continue that push for Hypnos.
Yeah, again, even like after the Diva was picked, it just became so hard to deal with the cat. Sure, they got the Fire pick early, but that's only one of the two. You have to deal with both flyers.
Tank pick versus a DPS pick. It's a little rough. Out comes the Sombra EMP taking out Warcry. However, I don't think it grabbed anyone else. Karma falling dangerously low, getting forced into the back line, having to fall back out. It looks like Estrella's actually gonna take over the bot here, take over this space. Rook coming in for slam, gets hacked, and slept, and booped. Out comes the cattle onto the Diva, gets demeched, and Geek taking out Throne. Warcry's back in the fight. We're trying to get it back, but we might not. Warcry does get picked again. Icarus taking them out. Nano goes onto the Karma, trying to get a pick, secures the pick on Proper. Out comes the Onron ult, does get the ball and also a good hack on the ball, but Rook is gonna fall back, and we're gonna try and make some progress here for Estrella.
Again, just good ult usage. They aren't dumping all their ults at one time. They're kind of staggering them out and pushing forward a little bit with each one, which allows them to, like, now they're already 50 to another EMP, which is huge because they really didn't have anything before. They were kind of on the back foot.
On the side of Hypnos, we're making that ball very uncomfortable with all these counters. So it's going to be very hard to get this playoff still, but we're trying, I guess. Out comes the Diva Bomb, canceling that Kiri ult. It's going to take over that space, but Rook is going to take that pick on Turtle. And Warcry, however, falls. They get that quick trade, and also onto Rook. So they are up, taking out a tank and a DPS. They definitely have some favor in this fight. Fiery is going to fall dangerously low. However, they secured the pick on Icarus. Proper's falling dangerously low. Throne taking out Proper, and also Nano taking out Geek. They are still pushing. They are coming back into this. Push is never an over fight. You could have the other team at 99 and you at 0, and you come back. It's never over.
It's why push is such a good game mode, because like, no matter how it is, if you play perfectly, you will win. Even if they're at the very end, if you play perfectly the entire rest of the way, you will win the game, no matter what. They can't just ult dump you, because then they'll just keep push back.
Correct. It looks like we have a couple ults coming up on side of Estrella. Out comes the Brig ult and the EMP ult. They want that ball dead. They got him dead. Might be an expensive fight, but honestly, it's worth it because they're going to secure that space. And onto Warcry, they also get that pick. A little bit of a stagger. Proper's going in, but probably getting... Out comes the Xion ult. Not getting any picks. Huge defense matrix there. Taking all of the power out of that ult.
We got the lead. Keep him pushing.
Proper taking the pick onto Turtle on the point. However, Estrella does take the lead. Missed cat ult there. Proper also taking out Icarus. Out comes Diva Bomb. Good Suzu by Geek, preserving life. Looks like we have Proper trying to steal bot. Proper and Karma are going to go at it on point. Warcry's Blade coming out, taking out Nano. However, Throne taking out Rook. And Proper securing that 1v1 onto Karma. Diva does get demeched, and Hypnos is going to try and take this space back.
Yeah, I mean... now we're gonna see the marvel of push, where it's just constant. It's just a constant back and forth between the teams. No matter how far they get it, they can always just come back and push back.
Correct.
Exactly what I like.
Push is never over. That hack, that Sombra is gonna cause so many problems for Rook there on that ball. But looks like they're gonna try and push through it. Karma getting the pick onto Geek. Early pick there, getting them on the bad foot. However, Turtle getting traded out very quickly after. Warcry trying to contest the bot, but Nano is going to get that hack on that Genji there. Does get picked off. Throne taking out Fiery. That Diva, like you said earlier, it's going to be good for those flying characters. It's their only real defense there. But, however, Warcry does fall shortly after. It looks like an even fight as of right now. 3v3 actually actively in the fight. However, Brig is back, so is Sombra, so we got a full regroup on the side of Estrella. We're gonna try and keep this space and keep this lead for Estrella. Out comes that ball ult. Also the hack, and out comes the on-run ult. Warcry taking out Nano. Out comes the Kiri rush. Maybe just control of zone. Warcry falling dangerously low. Throne is looking for that kill on that Genji. Really wants that. Out comes the Shion ult by Proper. Shuts down the Juno Ray. Or no, Juno Ray does go through. I apologize. They're just Proper taking out Turtle as well. Vanos, however, taking out Proper and Deep. Huge two-piece right there. And Brook also falling down. Karma, it is just back and forth here. It's still an even fight, but definitely Estrella has the upper hand in this, and Fiery's going to have to fall back, and Estrella's going to push bot once again.
HP max.
Alright, we are not making any changes on the side of Hypnos, besides the far out of the Genji. But out comes an EMP, getting the ball, and also Proper. Out comes the Cattle. Cattle's gonna try and take that D.Va. And out comes D.Va Bomb. Getting that forced out a little bit, but out comes Genji Blade. Not able to secure any picks except for on Turtle. Nano's gonna take out Warcry, getting that quick trade. Those hacks are making Rook's life very miserable here. Nano's doing a great job at, keeping Rook at bay. Proper, however, does take out that Sombra, so we're looking for another trade. Proper also taking out Icarus, huge two-piece there. Fiery is taking out Karma. D.Va does get demixed. We're gonna try and stagger this point as long as possible because they have the lead, and they want this lead to remain theirs.
Sure, at this point, I wouldn't push at all. You're just pushing towards them for a touch, but...
No, Estrella has the lead right now, correct?
Oh, yes, you're
right.
They need to push.
Yeah.
Right.
I would be the same way, but they're gonna try and stop this push here, but it's so close. It's gonna come down to ult economy, and it looks like we only have mines on the side of a Hypnos. We have two very big ults on the side of Estrella.
Yep.
Out comes the on-run ult. It's gonna probably get that pick onto Proper here. Proper's getting forced out. Nano taking out Warcry. Karma's taking out Proper. Fiery falling as well. And Rook. And it looks like Estrella is gonna take this map here. Close fights for both teams. Like I said, both teams want to be here. Great win for Estrella on this map.
Yeah, for sure. Again, it just comes down to your ult usage and who exactly goes first. Because you saw the mines did come out first. Unfortunately, mines isn't exactly the best ult for ball, so it wasn't as impactful as something like an on-run ult, which came out after that, which can just instantly get you fixed. And that's what won them that last fight.
For sure, and the swaps for the counters, it's we say counter watch, but it works. It works for a reason. The Sombra for the ball, the Brig for the ball, the D.Va for the cat, and the Pharah, making that Pharah very uncomfortable, forcing the swap onto Genji. It works for a reason.
Mm-hmm. I was a little worried when they were on cat Pharah, but then they seemed to switch off it, so I think that really helped Estrella over there. The fact that they didn't have to go into double flyer with Sombra on-run as the front line.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. If Chow wants to pause, if she
allows us, she allows us a break.
But I will be right back, and we will see y'all soon.
I'm being bullied.
You're not
ready. All right, and welcome to map 3. We are heading to, or map 4? Map 4, sorry. Map 4, we are heading to Rialto, very commonly also picked map. Renasapi was actually a pretty new map choice, because I feel like everyone's been doing New Queen Street, but Rialto, we're back to what we know, back to what's familiar. On the side of Hypnos, we got a couple changes on the lineup. We have no changes on the side of Estrella. We have Don John in on tank. We have Sovereign back in for Warcry, and no change, or actually Aqua in for Geek. So we're changing a little bit on Hypnos, but we are going to be heading in here soon. We got some bans on the board. If you want to take that away, Sarah.
I'm not told what the bands are. So Zenyatta
Yes.
and Widowmaker. Okay, the Widowmaker and both those bands make a lot of sense for this kind of map because again, Rialto's poke slot map. So we're gonna be playing a lot of. I'm assuming what we're gonna have is a Sigma mirror, and then Autos on both sides, and maybe Kiriko's. But
Probably.
I don't know.
Yes.
If we're looking at a main support pick, it's got to be like a Wu Yang or a Yari. Or a Cat, obviously.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah. But for flex support, I'd say what I go on to Rialto choosing is always Ana. Kiriko is obviously you can work, but you're mostly just healing, and not doing as much damage. You don't get a lot of value, whereas you would get with an anti of some sort and try and get some pushback. DPS, Widowmaker band, obviously. I don't know if either of these teams play it, but a Hanzo is also very good. Emery's good. We have a Mei pick over here, so we're going to be playing that Sigma Mei Brawlish comp.
Correct. Looks like we have Estrella is going to chose attack, so they're going to be attacking first. Looks like we're both. Nope, we have a Ramatra on the side of Estrella and Sigma there. Both running Meis. The only difference, I think, is the one support and one DPS, but it's the typical hit scan, flex, and also flex and main support. So it's pretty typical stuff here on the board. I'm excited to see how this defense pans out.
Yeah.
And also how this attack as well goes. See how they wrap around and what their plan is. Right. Looks like we got both Sigma and Emre on height, walling off that height, maybe just to take over that angle, get some extra cover, because Sigma difference between the Ramatra is that shield. That shield's gonna place protection over any angle, while Ramatra can't really do that.
Yeah, it seems like Fable's comp is a little more brawly, if that makes any sense, because of this Ramatra. They can walk forward and meet it.
Their Ramatra has been proven to be very, very strong. They've done it before. It's a huge threat. Down goes Turtle, taking out Turtle. But Sovereign, or Donjon's getting very uncomfortable on the point with Nano. Just trying to shred through him, but Ramatra is falling dangerously low, gets stunned, huge rock there. Proper taking out Nano and Sovereign taking out Karma. They're going to be able to restabilize on this defense here for Hypnos.
Yeah, and you can see the difference between the Brig and the Mizuki pick here. I feel like the Mizuki gives your team a lot more agency because you're constantly dealing damage as well as having your aura up, right? Whereas Brig, it's kind of like you're limited to your whip shot into this kind of comp. You can't push forward too much.
Correct. If you're not making any damage, you're not doing any healing besides your 3 little packs, which unfortunately, that's where that huge difference comes with Mizuki and Brig. Sovereign falling dangerously low though, getting forced out of that angle. Looks like we're going to try and wrap behind the other angle at this point. Nano's trying to take out Donjon, but does get taken out first. Huge rock onto Throne Pillow there. Karma's going to slide and take over the height here, taking out Fiery, but however, Aqua's going to take out Turtle, so a quick trade. This is where the Sigma angle with the shield is going to come in handy, because that's So just trying to wrap behind him. It looks like we got a 1v1 here. Karma's taken out too. Still falling dangerously low though. Proper and Donjon still on the field. They have 1 up, and that's stunning the Mei. Very helping out Proper there. Out comes the Mei freeze. Very early Mei freeze here. freezing Sojourn and both Mei. Looks like they might get the pick. Out comes Ramatra ult, taking out Fiery. Also comes out Flux, trying to shut down that Annihilation. And it looks like they do, but they're still holding on. They still have that space. Out comes the Nano. Huge sleep by Aqua there. Proper taking out Icarus, but Throne still trying to push in because that Nano, it still could take over. But huge wall by Proper. Huge shutdown and kill by Dawn there. And it looks like we're gonna hold and restabilize once again.
And just seeing how powerful the Mei is on these kinds of maps. Not a lot of flex DPS give you the agency that Mei does, because you have to constantly be aware of your cooldowns. Especially on this kind of map where the chokes are so tight.
Correct. Alright, it looks like we're gonna try and rotate through height for Estrella. Out comes the overclock for Karma. Out comes the Mizuki ult for Fiery, trying to shut down that overclock. Out comes the Mei ult, freezing Proper, securing that pick, but out comes the Nano Emre ult. We want to win this fight here, but very expensive fight if we don't win these picks. Throne Pillow taking out Aqua. Sovereign falling very low and gets picked. Dawn trying to live on point as long as he can, but does get taken out, and it looks like Estrella is going to cap this first attack point.
Yeah. Good Mei out there, freezing both the enemy Mei and the Sigma. It really helped them. They're actually swapping off of the Mei right now. Now that that is off for this kind of point here. See if they can push maybe the Reaper and the TPs.
Nano taking out Proper with the early pick there. And they're going to secure the height here with that pick.
Yeah, I feel like the Reaper on this point is a little better just because the chokes aren't as tight and the Mei wall won't be as effective as it was the last one. There are a lot more
too many ways to get around it. Yeah. A huge slow there by Throne. Good stun there, but they're still gonna. Out comes Annihilation. Is antied, so gonna have to block. Out comes a Brig ult, and also Proper's freeze doesn't grab anyone in it, but Karma falling pretty low here. But Throne taking out Sovereign and Don John. Proper's gonna fall off, try and get this regroup. And it looks like Estrella's gonna cap this second attack point.
Sure, and I'm looking at it honestly, and I'm seeing that maybe the DPS picks are a little better on the side of Fable right now, just because the Reaper and Sojourn. The Sojourn gives them that one big blast that does a ton of damage and kind of one-tap you if you're not being careful, and the Reaper just gives you more angles, whereas you have to play kind of front to back with the Mei Ram comp.
Correct, yeah. Like you said earlier, there's too many ways around it after that first point, so the Mei is kind of interesting to stay on here. But Ramatra is making that pick onto Sovereign, or no, Karma's taking out that Sovereign. And they're still pushing along here. Fiery getting forced out of her angle here. Out comes the overclock by Karma, and also another Mizuki ult. But Proper does get kind of left out and picked here by Nano. And so Karma also taking out Sovereign. We're looking for any way to contest this. We have Annihilation coming up for Hypnos, but out comes the Juno Ray. It looks like we're gonna try. Out comes Annihilation for Estrella, and we are gonna cap with a minute 50.
And then again, I think for Hypnos there, it was just a little bit of a comp issue. They stayed on the Mei too long, and that kind of allowed the Reaper to take over and take more angles that the Mei just couldn't physically contest, because when you're playing Mei, you really want to punish the tank, but if there's a Reaper behind you, it's harder to punish the tank, obviously.
Correct. And we have no comps yet for either side, but we are switching to the attack for Estrella and Hypnos. With a minute 50 on the clock, that is a very comfortable time if Hypnos does end up pushing it all the way as well. They might not. This map is super defense-sided if you do it correctly on that second point, or even the first point.
Yeah, being able to be held by just like one dominant hit scan up on that high ground, it really makes it hard to push, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see where the comps come in. I mean, you see Don John on the Winston here. We got a Winston Reaper Cat kind of dive going in with an on a Sojourn probably going to stay back on. I'm assuming what they're going to do is they're going to try and move the Ana to an angle with the cat, and then have the Sojourn play around there, and then have the Monkey Reaper dive together. But again, I don't know exactly what the plans are. I'm not in the comms, so we'll see how it goes.
Sure. It's easy to assume, especially with these few characters, but it looks like Estrella is going to look for that brawl still. It's kind of going to make that dive comp a little difficult, especially with the Brig and the BAP even as well.
I think Baptiste's a little bit of an interesting pick considering they have a Pharah, but I mean, we'll see how it goes.
And Throne's just trying to contest that point. Don's taking over the height here with Fiery, but nothing happening quite yet. Yep, and they do taxi that Ana onto height. And Don's gonna dive onto that back line. Very dangerous backline for a Winston, especially with that Brig. Proper taking out Karma. Icarus did in that quick switch onto that Proper. And Nano taking out Aqua. And it looks like Estrella is going to stabilize once again here.
Yeah, it's that Brig Baptiste. They just have so much survivability that if they can survive the Winston Reaper dive. And they got the pick in the cat early, or they got the pick in the Reaper early, sorry. And
correct.
They just didn't have enough burst damage to kill a Brig healed Baptiste.
I didn't even realize Fiery and Donjon were still in the back. They are currently they kind of have an okay angle on them because they are able to just jump on someone, and they do it onto Turtle. They're onto Karma. They want that pick on Karma. Proper's brawling it out with Throne on point. Fiery going back to help them. Proper taking out Throne. However, both teams are... Hypnos is very low. They're unable to make a lot of space with that fight, but they're gonna attempt it. Nano taking out Aqua. Very good pick there for them to get this recontest with a full regroup. Don's gonna dive in on that BAP. Out comes the Immort. Sovereign takes out Nano. Throne wants that pick on Proper. Out comes Wraith, but out comes Cattle, grabbing the Ramatra, going in for a little swim. Sovereign taking out Turtle, Dawn taking out Icarus, and down goes Karma, and Proper taking out Karma. And down goes Nano, and we're gonna cap this first point as well.
Yeah. You can see that the Turtle just didn't respect the Winston bubble, and he tried to fight the Winston inside of it. And when you're inside that Winston bubble, you just can't get any support from anyone else. And he died very quickly.
Very difficult, yeah. Out comes the Diva swap from Throne. Very interesting pick. I know it does counter the Winston, but it's going to be probably more so to maybe make the backline a little more uncomfortable, just like the Winston's doing. Karma has a great angle there on Sovereign, but does not get the pick. Proper forcing slide out. Got a little bit of a contest on points. Throne having to fall back here, but they're going to take over that height. Out comes Nano for Proper. We're looking for an ult. And we get it. We grab two. Nano also taking out Aqua, so we're only really down one on Hypnos. Proper also taking out, or Sovereign taking out Nano. And we're going to keep pushing for Hypnos.
It just seems like they didn't respect the monkey in the backline. You know, you have to. If there's a tank in your backline, you always have to care. It doesn't matter how much health he's at, 'cause when that passive regen kicks in, he will jump your backline, and it will be a problem.
Correct. And with the Brig, it should be a lot harder to do so. Down getting picked very early by Icarus Nade. Looks like we are getting forced back here. And we're going to have to go for that regroup for Hypnos. And Estrella's going to hold that space. This is another very difficult choke to get through.
Ooh, I like both these swaps on Hypnos' side. Because this last point is a little more brawly than pokey versus the rest of them. So I feel like the monkey isn't going to do as much. It's a little hard to jump into.
Correct. And
they're getting close area like that.
the matchup into the D.Va, it's just gonna shred that D.Va mech. But Sovereign does take out Nano, gets D.Va Bomb forced out, unable to secure any picks with the D.Va Bomb. Out comes the overclock by Sovereign. They want this space, they're going for it. But we do have D.Va back in mech in our back line. Out comes the Nano onto the D.Va. We have Sovereign, both DPS is on an angle here, but looks like Nano and Karma are going to shut down Proper and Sovereign here. However, D.Va does get picked off, so it's a 3v4 with no tank on the side of Estrella.
Having tank advantage is huge, especially when you have two supports. If you trade one tank for two DPS, I don't know if it's worth it, because DPS or supports in this age can do this much damage.
Yeah, the supports are just DPS characters and with an extra ability.
Yeah, the fact that they can apply DPS passive too is huge.
Correct, and it looks like we have the swap from Throne onto Ramatra. We know it works. We know it's a very good one. Out comes Overclock from Karma, but also comes Mizuki ult. Reaper ult, only grabbing that pick on Proper, but we do get the instant switch. A good sleep there by Icarus, shutting down that Ramatra Annihilation, but out comes Kitsune Rush and Nano onto Throne. Karma, fiery chaining Karma, getting that pick. Out comes the Brig ult. We want to hold this point. We don't want to let them in. We do not. Icarus falling dangerously low. Dawn's looking for that pick onto the Ana. Crawford coming out with a Reaper ult, getting the pick onto Turtle. Dawn also taking out Nano. Dawn taking out Nano. Out comes the Reaper. Does get picked pretty early. And Proper taking out Karma with that early pick. We're going to try to contest here. We swapped to the Tracer just for that speed touch. But Hypnos does fully cap with 1:06. We have a little bit of a time difference, but not too huge of one.
Yeah, again, it's looking like an ult economy diff in that one. They just had more ults because the Ramatra swap is a little late on the side of the defense. So they got that first initial push and it turned it basically into one fight territory with touches. And they have Ramatra ult for that versus no Ramatra ult. Even though he got slept out of it, it kept him alive, which is really what's important. They just couldn't punish him with the sleep.
For sure. That was a good sleep though by Icarus onto Dawn. That Annihilation made them lose quite a bit. Losing that Annihilation with a sleep made them lose quite a bit of time. So we have a couple comps out here. Looks like no changes on the side of Hypnos. We're back to the Ramatra. This is exactly what we started with on the defense for Estrella. So no changes on either side.
Yeah.
Except for Reaper maybe is a little earlier. I can't remember what they started with.
They started with May on the side of Hypnos. I believe. I'm not quite sure. Again, though, like having a cat instead of a Brig means, as your main support, means that you're gonna have a little more damage output. Sure, you're not gonna have as much sustain, but if you can burst them down quick enough, you'll be okay.
I don't know. The sustain with the cat, with the new buffs they have, the perks, it does make it very it's very good for healing wise. But Nano is gonna take out Dawn, and that healing from the cat just wasn't enough.
Yeah. A little bit of an early engage. You can't really engage like that onto a Reaper. He will just burn you.
Yeah. Proper's gets height. He's on height. He wants it. We have the dive onto height. Nano's staying up there. Gonna contest that Winston. Getting some heavy damage output from that M-Ray, making that walk up very uncomfortable. Dawn's gonna dive onto that Turtle. Proper taking out Turtle. Lamp also getting forced out. Nano falling down as well. But we're not pushing cart here. Hopefully there's no C9. There is no C9. And Nade comes out, forcing arms. falling dangerously low, falling dangerously low there, and we win this first fight. But they're still able to come back and stop this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ult economy here, and it looks like Throne is gonna get his ankle before Primal, which could be huge. Never mind, he swapped. He swapped 70% health. Okay.
All right. Well, it looks like we're gonna have a contest here on point from Nano. Throne diving in on Proper, making it uncomfortable for Proper to stay there, but we're brawling it out on point. That Brig, these brawl fights with Brig is just so important. Brig makes it so different. Oh, Sovereign taking out Turtle. The outcomes the Reaper ult, not able getting any picks. However, Nano taking out 3. John the only one left. And that is it for the attack for Hypnos. We are now moving to the attack for Estrella, who has a little bit more time.
Yeah, not letting the full cap there is huge. Because his cap just takes so much time to for the card to start moving again, so not allowing that and having 150 to push to here, it really gives them a huge chance. I was doubting the D.Va swap, but
it makes sense Reaper now looking back at it. Yeah,
the Reaper ult from Nano was huge. I do still think if they had kept the Ramatra, it would have been a little bit easier, but that Reaper ult was just huge.
I don't know if they would have had another touch if they were on Ramatra.
I don't think the D.Va was the one who touched though. I think it was the Reaper.
No, yeah, but it would have been a little bit more of a staggered fight. The Ramatra not as fast as the D.Va, and also eating the Reaper ult, like you said. It was actually a very smart call for that last fight.
Yep. Oh, we're seeing Mei come back. The same call from Hypnos here. You got as they started with the defense so long ago now. As we get with these escort maps, 20-minute maps, you know, but yeah. we do have the same comp that they started on: the Mizuki, the Ana, the Emery, Mei, Sigma.
For sure. It looks like we have another Ramatra comp on the side of Estrella. It's exactly the same. Turtle falling a little low, having to hide here for this first little bit, but they're still gonna chug along, try and get this cart progress. We're still holding height. Looks like that's the plan. Keep height as long as possible. However, Nano just TPing onto it with Karma sliding up on it. It's taken. It's a very good DPS duo to take over and make that space uncomfortable.
And yeah, the Reaper can just get close and then get hit by the Soul Grab and just die. And you can basically toss there.
Correct. Well, we have a Mei that can do the jump and the wall to height, but it takes 2 very important cooldowns. Fiery taking out Nano, and Karma, however, taking out Fiery. So quick trade, even on the field though, but it is a support down on the side of Hypnos. Aqua taking out Turtle, and Aqua also taking out Karma. Huge 2-piece right there, and a great wall onto Throne. Gonna take out them, and it's gonna be a restabilization for Hypnos with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Looking ult economy wise, we're 83 to Nano on one side, and we just switched to the other side. So we're gonna have that Nano for final fight versus no support ults on the other side. And if as an Overwatch player, I know that support ultimates are the best ultimates in the game by far. So having that
if not used incorrectly, yeah.
If not used incorrectly, yes, very important. But if we just enter with a Nano here, I mean, he instantly kills the Reaper, and then.
However, falling very shortly after. Throne getting very low, having to kite the damage here. But Karma's on a great angle with Overclock. Having to drop, though, from the damage. We are coming close to... We are in OT. Out comes Flux, grabs Throne, but out comes Annihilation. Gets stunned, getting burned very quickly with that Mei ult. And Aqua taking out Karma, Fiery taking out both Throne and Nano. Aqua taking out Icarus. Dude, these supports are taking out everyone.
yeah, Fiery's been having a great round, just killing everyone.
She has. She is doing an amazing job. She got MVP in our last game. She's probably getting it again in this one. She's doing a great job. Hypnos takes map 4, and we are currently sitting at 3-1 for Hypnos. And we are going to be heading to this next map here. Great play of the game here from Nano. That definitely stopped that push.
Yeah, for sure. And again, just having that Nano opening pick, I don't think they get that opening pick without the Nano. Sure, it got traded, but like think about a situation where that doesn't get traded out, or that they don't have that opening pick that gets traded out. Then it's their opening pick, and they're on the back foot, right? So having that extra support ult just it helped immensely.
Are we on mute?
I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 sauce, I'm like, yeah, this is my wonder when she'll be mine. She up first, I praise. We wanna see that one more time. I got this soda.
Womp womp.
I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 sauce, I'm like, yeah, this is my wonder when she'll be mine. She up first, I praise. We wanna see that one more time. I got this soda. I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 sauce, I'm like, yeah, this is my wonder when she'll be mine. She up first, I praise. We wanna see that one more time. I got this soda. I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 sauce, I'm like, yeah, this is my wonder when she'll be mine. She up first, I praise. We wanna see that one more time. I got this soda. I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 sauce, I'm like, yeah, this is my wonder when she'll be mine. She up first, I praise. We wanna see that one more time. I got this soda.
Am I unmuted? Did they hear me say that? Okay, cool.
All right. And welcome to map 5. We are currently on a 3-1 split here with Odyssey Hypnos in the lead. We're on Atlas and we have a couple bans if you want to take that away, Sarek.
Yeah, so on this map here, we have the Kiriko and the Mei ban, which honestly, I can see the Mei ban being huge here, as Atlas is a very brawl-heavy map. There are some points that are more pokey, but on a flashpoint, you can't really swap your character, especially like with ult economy, to just like go full for 1 point. You have to kind of stay on it and play with what you got. So not having a Mei will really help for this first point. And then Kiriko, again, is just the best support in the game. So we're going to have to see some more abstract comps. As you can see, right now we have a Lucio Moira and then we have a Mizuki Juno. Both of them are speed comps, and both of them are good. However, one has a more of a hinder and one has a more of like a damage-based stats bit heavy comp.
Correct. And it also looks like we are on both Ramatra. So we're going to have a Ramatra mashup. Proper getting that space a little early. It looks like we're going to try to take over bridge. And we're going to flip map here. They want to take over stairs. However, they're coming in on them. Rook taking out Turtle there. And Karma in the back line trying to get some disruption, take back that space. Pillow taking out Proper. We are even on the field here, folks. And Hypnos is going to take the first cap here. However, they're getting kind of forced into this corridor, and Nano's going to take out Geek. And Estrella is going to take that cap back with 17% to Hypnos. And they're going to stabilize on point and try to hold this front choke. Or actually, they are still underneath. Correction, sorry.
Yeah, again, I feel like the not having a hit scan is a huge problem right now for Hypnos. So it's like the Cassidy just allows them to have a lot more damage pressure, and also the hinder into the double flex is huge. Like, if you time your engage wrong, you die instantly.
Correct. They have a little bit more distance on them while Hypnos is wanting to fight close. Fiery getting taken out. And Turtle, however, getting that quick trade, or Proper getting that quick trade onto Turtle. And Throne taking out Rook. And Karma taking out Proper, Dawn taking out Nano, but they still have point control. So Don John taking out 2. Throne falling dangerously low, but does have the backup from Karma. And Dawn also is falling dangerously low, having to fall back, regroup. 84% on the board. We're going to have to contest this early on Ron ult, capturing 3 of them. And Geek also popping Coalescence onto point, trying to just flip this point to contest it. High Noon coming out, taking out Fiery. Out comes Annihilation from Don John, however, dangerously low again. Another Annihilation coming out from Throne. And Proper is going to take out 2. Throne, and they are able to secure the flip. A very expensive fight from both teams, though, but it's going to come out probably to Estrella's favor because they have 99 on the board. And with Mizuki ult and Juno Ray, with only... We do have Venture ult, though, coming up with Beat. So it's going to be an interesting next fight.
Yeah, for sure. I do think it still goes to Estrella just because double support ult is better than DPS and Beat. Because you have the defensive ult in Mizuki and you have the offensive ult in Juno, so
and
it makes it
securing
really
that
good.
early pick
Yeah, for
onto
sure.
Fiery. However, Proper getting the quick trade onto Icarus. Throne's gonna drop to point with Karma. Looks like we have Mizuki ult coming out. I think Dawn very low. Nano's gonna secure that pick onto Dawn. Out comes the Venture ult. Racha arms just, man, Racha never dies, even through Venture ult. Out comes the Juno Ray, but out comes Beat. We're trying to save this point. We're 99-99. Throne taking out Fiery. However, Proper taking out Icarus, but Pillow's going to take that quick trade onto Proper, but Throne's falling dangerously low. Still, point is still on Hypnos' side here. High Noon coming out, taking out Rook. Falling dangerously low. We got everyone. It looks like Estrella's going to flip this and secure it. They do not have a chance for a touch.
Yeah. I feel like, again, as I said in the beginning, having that hit scan just allows them to have more damage pressure from a little bit
Correct.
further of a distance. So when that Cassidy came back, it just immediately turned the fight. You saw he got a second high noon of the round already, and it just cleaned up everything.
Correct, correct. All right, looks like we have a swap onto Mauga here. No swaps on the side of Estrella. Rook kind of getting caught out here, but Dawn's gonna take out Nano, Geek's gonna take out Turtle. Early picks on this fight here, making it a little bit more comfortable, but we still have Karma on point, trying to maybe get a quick cap. Nope. Does get forced out. A little bit of a stagger. And Estrella's gonna have to regroup, and Hypnos is gonna get this first percentage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at ult economy here, and I'd like to see maybe an early on-run ult, as they don't really have a response rate at the moment.
Correct. We also have an Annihilation on the board, but we do have a Coalescence and a Reaper ult on the side of Hypnos, so it is pretty even. Out comes the on-run ult, and it does not hit anyone. Proper getting the pick onto Nano. Proper's gonna ult the point, not getting anyone though. Out comes Annihilation. Donjon getting the pick onto Turtle. Coalition coming out, trying to keep Donjon up. And however, adds some damage. Proper's gonna take out Throne in that mid Annihilation, and Hypnos is gonna stabilize on this point.
Yeah.
It was.
You can say that about Karma as well. Both deep fields.
I can
no one.
screaming like mispress. Nano's gonna touch, but does get quickly taken out. However, they're gonna try to contest this while we have 99-0 up on the board. Rook, Karma taking out Rook, but Proper getting that pick onto Icarus. We're still up on the Hypnos side. Just by one. Out comes the cage. We want to kill this Ramatra. We want to do it fast. We don't want them to keep doing this stagger war here, just to trying to contest this point. But we are going to take this second point for Hypnos. It is 1-1 on the board.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Throne swap off maybe the Ramatra and go Mauga in a little bit here.
So far, no swap.
Yeah, just because Ramatra into Mauga just seems like an awful thing to play.
I feel like it used to be really good a few seasons ago when Ramatra's arms just lived through everything, but Mauga just puts out too much damage now. Karma's looking for some poke damage, getting a little low, does get forced out. We are set up on point or around point here. However, Throne's gonna get behind everyone, maybe punish potentially Geek getting this pick, forcing that fade out. And Karma might go in for that cleanup, but Proper's gonna take out Nano, and Rook's gonna have that double kill onto Icarus and Turtle. Rook also taking out Karma, and Karma taking out Geek. Geek did get punished for that forced fade, but it does not matter. They are gonna cap this point for Hypnos and get this first percentage.
Yeah, you can see just playing Ramatra into Mauga gives him just a huge battery to feed off of constantly. And you're like, not only are you a battery to feed the Mauga, you're also just constantly taking damage, which forces a lot of like attention from the supports.
Correct. Out comes an Excavation, taking out Icarus, forcing the Mizuki. Rook taking out 3. Icarus, Turtle, and Nano. Donjon securing that pick onto Throne. Very early fight there for Hypnos, securing that time. We are climbing up to 50%. Not a very expensive fight either. Only the Venture ult.
Yeah, Venture for Mizuki. Now, Mizuki ult does a lot, but unfortunately does not break Venture ult. So even popping it and playing it doesn't really help you for that.
I honestly didn't know that it didn't stop it.
Yeah, it's
Throne getting dangerously low here. Proper taking out Turtle. Out comes Annihilation, probably just trying to get the pace back in their favor, but they are stuffing them with that beat. Out comes the Reaper Nano ult, taking out 2, but we are going to cap this point for Hypnos. Unfortunately, unable to touch. A great play by Nano, but unable to do anything for the point-wise.
Again, the Ramatra is just so hard to play. You're just walking in. You have to pop Annihilation to live in the kind of neutral state. Just because of how much damage this Mauga is putting on.
Correct. And they're able to really close the distance and make people very uncomfortable. A huge cage with the Reaper ult, gonna demech that Diva. Gonna take out 4. Proper taking out everyone. Huge team fight, team kill for Hypnos here. They're gonna get this first percentage.
Yeah. And just good combination of ults. The Mago Reaper ults, they work great together. As you know, you can't really run when you're in a Mago cage. And when a Reaper ult comes down, your first instinct is to run, so you can't really do that. And,
Correct.
you know, Estrella, like, Fable right now just doesn't have a lot of ults to counteract that.
They currently they don't have any ults actually at the moment. We do have Coalescence on the side of Hypnos and 76% to Venture ult. However, Proper's falling dangerously low, getting forced out of his position here. An early Coalescence, kind of an uncomfortable one. Not really providing much to the fight, unfortunately, but a very good one to just get this maybe tempo back. Karma's getting forced out by Fiery and Proper. That speed boost assistance with the Reaper is just very valuable there. And Diva getting demech'd late in that fight. They're getting staggered. It's 82%. It's last fight. Estrella's gonna have to do something. Yeah, Karma's going for the touch. They probably are going to get it.
No, Lucio Boot comes in.
They do not. Huge Lucio boots. Like I said, Fiery is top contender.
Yep, for sure, for sure.
And Hypnos wins the grand finals. That is it. Tier 2 is over. Great season. Oh, huge play of the game here for Proper. Proper's had a few play of the games for over tonight, but oh my god. And man, I am long season, very well fought season, very two well-deserving teams to be here in grand finals. And I'm sorry, but this is my team, and I'm so proud of them. They did such a good job. They played perfectly. Man. Oh my god, I could cry.
I'm not
Good
letting
job,
my
you.
team have any cake.
They're gonna talk with your team now, Chow. I'm here as the neutral, all right? I lead no team.
I mean,
Do we do?
when you really think about it, I mean, Odyssey and Fable made it to 2 grand finals together.
They did. They did.
Fable made it to all 4.
Oh my.
Hey, I got Chrono still. We got 2. All right, you guys.
They were right there.
Well, that is it for grand finals tier 2. Great plays from both teams here. I don't know if we're doing interviews.
We are not. It is way too
Oh, okay.
late.
That
It's
is
11 p.m. I gotta go play Overwatch Ranked.
Space
that is true.
will be hosting tier 3 grand finals tomorrow night, also at 9 o'clock. So make sure you all come back for that.
For sure. And thank you guys very much. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye bye.